2017, I was fortunate enough to be able to travel a lot. I went to a lot of different places just around the country, all road trips, and I was able to travel to Colorado in January. So in January of 2017, I got on a plane and I got to spend 4 days in Colorado. I visited my best friend. We just did a lot of basic stuff. We went shopping and took hikes and played with dogs, and it was really fun. It was a really laid-back experience. Last March, I went on my first vacation with my parents. We took a road trip to Branson, Missouri. On the way there, we stopped at a lot of cute little places. It took us about 10 hours to drive there, when usually the drive is around 8 hours, so we did stop a couple times. My favorite stop was a candy store in a town called Uranus, Missouri. A little inappropriate, but funny to say the least. We stayed in a beautiful condo in Branson on Table Rock Lake. It was up in the Ozark Mountains, and it was absolutely breathtaking how many stars you could see out there during the day. It completely blew me away. On the first night in Branson, the three of us just stayed in after we arrived. We ate some pizza, we played some card games, a board game, and then we just sat outside making up our own constellations and looking at constellations. I remember my dad had this app on his phone where you could point it to the sky and it would show you what the constellations that you could see at the time were and where they were and different things like that, and it gave you a whole bunch of background on each constellation. It was really cool. After that, we just went to bed, and then when we woke up, we were ready to explore. The first day, we ended up getting back in the car and driving for around 3 hours, and we went to a place where Missouri, the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma all meet in one corner. So we drove about 3 hours, and we went there, and we got to stand in all three states at the same time. And I don't know, for some reason, I thought that was really cool. That same day, we stopped at a gas station on Route 66, and it's the gas station where the creator of Cars came up with the idea of Mater. Outside of this tiny gas station, that's a restaurant now, they have the original truck of what he saw, Mater, and then they have a replica of Mater sitting next to it. So that was really cool. I got to take a picture. I really love cars, so I loved that experience. We tried to stop in a small town off of Route 66 for lunch, and I remember there was a weird amount of traffic because they were having a huge St. Patrick's Day parade. So my dad and I both got a little bit of anxiety. We were like, oh, we're in a new place. Everybody's right here. We don't really know how to get through this town. We don't really know what's going on. So we decided to leave that area, and we went and got lunch kind of on the outskirts of the town. There were so many people. It was definitely a small town, but everybody was sitting outside of their house ready for the parade. So that was definitely an interesting experience. When we finally got back to the Branson area, we went and got dinner. I remember it was kind of cold outside, but we ate on the patio anyway because it was nicer than it had been in Chicago. We got Mexican food, and it was really cool. First of all, the Mexican food was amazing, and we were sitting on this beautiful patio overlooking these fountains that light up and play songs. The only song that I can remember it playing was the national anthem, but I think it's because it played it like 5 times as we were eating dinner because the light show happened like every 30 minutes or something. And at that same Mexican restaurant, they make the guacamole like in front of you, which I guess it's supposed to be a common thing, but I had never seen it happen before. So somebody came out and cut the avocado in front of us, and excuse me, and made the guacamole with all the spices and stuff right in front of you in like a mixing bowl. It was really crazy to see. So the next day we drove to Arkansas. I have some family that lives there, so that was really fun. I got to meet my cousin's new baby girl. She was just about 4 months old when I got to meet her for the first time, so that was really great because I hadn't expected to have the opportunity to meet her for a while. And him and his wife had just bought a house, so I got to see his new house as well. And because family lives there, when I was way younger, like an infant baby, probably not even 1 year yet, my family moved to Arkansas. So I lived in a house there for about 9 months, 10 months when I was a small baby. So obviously I don't remember, but my parents drove me by the house that we lived in when we did live there. So that was also really cool. So the next day was super fun and relaxing. We rented a boat and we spent the entire day on the lake. I remember it was beautiful outside, and we had pretty crappy weather in Chicago before that, but the water was so cold. Like, you did not want to get out of the boat. You didn't even want the water hitting your face if you're going too fast. And my dad let me drive the boat, so I got to drive a boat for the first time ever. And it was way easier than I thought it would be, which was crazy. My family has had a boat my whole life, and I don't know why. I've never taken the initiative to drive it, but it was really fun. I just kept going and huge donuts and making Super 8s. Nobody else was really on the water because it was in the middle of the week in March, but it was definitely cool. So then we did a lot. I had a really fun vacation, clearly. After the boat, we took what's called a scenic railway into Arkansas. This was a really cool experience. The whole ride itself was about 2 hours, and it's supposed to be the most scenic view in Arkansas. The train cars were set up kind of old-timey still, like the 40s. They were random poles where you could like stand on it, and then there were chairs and tables and even bar seats set up along the windows. Absolutely different than anything I'd seen before. Even like the original train seating with like older chairs, it was definitely something. The train ride was really cool. It was like narrated, so it was kind of like you got to learn some stuff. So I got to learn a few weird things about a random railway in Arkansas, so that was fun. After that, we were already downtown Branson, so we, did normal stuff. We stopped in thrift stores, as you should everywhere you go. We stopped in bookstores, and then there was this candy store that I made my parents go back to like 4 times our entire vacation because they had the best like cherry flavored licorice shoestring type candy, but it was homemade per day, so they could only make so much. So that first day I stopped in and bought a whole bunch of it, and my mom and I like ate it all. So that was definitely a cool experience. I made my poor parents go back there 5 times. And then on that next day, we went ziplining, which is an absolutely incredible experience. And if you've never been able to experience it before, you definitely should. I remember we did 7 different lines, and when we got trained, the first one, it was closer to the ground, so I hit the ground and I landed and skid my butt all along the dirt, and I was like, if this ziplining experience is about to be anything like this practice round I just got, it's going to be a an experience that I never forget, and I certainly didn't forget it. It was really fun, but really challenging. And there was another family with us who was experienced, so it was great having their advice and encouragement, but it was definitely crazy. My dad could not keep his balance. He spun in circles, and you're really not supposed to do that. You're supposed to try to keep your body straight, and my mom just screamed until she was at the end of it again. It's almost like she didn't even have her eyes open. But my vacation was absolutely incredible, and we did a lot more after that as well. It was just great.